When you walk through a forest, you hear birds and insects, but what about the plants? For centuries we thought plants were silent. New science reveals that plants are anything but quiet. They communicate using ultrasonic clicks and pops, a hidden language beyond our hearing. With special microphones, scientists have detected these sound signals about a plant's health, stress, or injury. Imagine a tomato vine. If it's thirsty or damaged, it emits a flurry of ultrasonic clicks, broadcasting distress. These aren't random noises, they're messages, a secret symphony that's been playing for millions of years. This discovery transforms our view of plants from passive greenery to active communicators in a living network. The implications are huge. If plants can talk, what else can they do? We're only beginning to decode this green language. The world is more alive, more connected, and more mysterious than we ever imagined. The breakthrough came from Tel Aviv University, where scientists set up sensitive microphones next to tomato and tobacco plants in a soundproof chamber. They discovered that healthy plants are mostly quiet, but stressed plants, dehydrated or cut, emit dozens of ultrasonic clicks per hour. Each type of stress produced a unique sound signature, which researchers could identify using machine learning. These clicks are thought to result from cavitation, tiny air bubbles collapsing inside the plant's water channels, creating vibrations that escape as sound. The plants were, in effect, speaking about their condition. This was the first solid evidence that plants use airborne sound to communicate their state. The discovery opened a new window into plant behavior and communication. Suddenly, the silent world of plants was revealed as a place full of urgent messages. But who's listening to these plant sounds? Scientists suspected insects might be tuned in. They tested moths, offering them a choice between speakers playing healthy plant sounds and those playing stressed plant clicks. The result? Moths avoided the noisy, stressed plant sounds, preferring the quiet ones. This showed that moths can hear and interpret plant distress signals, using them to choose better places to lay eggs. For moths, this means avoiding plants unlikely to nourish their offspring. It's a remarkable example of cross-species communication. Plants broadcasting, insects responding. Nature's conversations are more complex than we ever realized. To be sure sound was the key, scientists removed all other cues. No real plants, just speakers playing plant clicks or silence. Moths still avoided the speakers playing stressed plant sounds, even with no visual or chemical signals present. This proved that the insects were responding to sound alone. The experiment confirmed that plants and insects communicate through a hidden acoustic channel. While humans are deaf to these frequencies, for insects, it's a vital source of information. This discovery challenges our assumptions about the limits of animal perception. The world is full of hidden signals, if only we know how to listen.
How can we see this impacting, I guess, science in a broader perspective? It's just the top of the iceberg, you said.
Yes, I think that now that we're seeing that somebody out there is listening to plants, and this is a very reliable indication of the physiological state of that plant, and that is very precious to insects, to herbivores, to animals, to other plants, and this reliable signal that could easily be detected. I mean, there's many animals and plants that actually could detect sound. So now that we know that this is happening, so it's going to reveal itself slowly. The next step is to see how plants react to their own sounds, or maybe bats respond to this sound, or there's just, it's endless interactions that could be based on just these sounds. Maybe there are other sounds that plants produce that we haven't discovered yet.
Well, how did the team discover these sounds and this form of back and forth between the insects and the plants?
So when we started the study, we already knew that plants produce these sounds. And what we wanted to see if somebody is listening, or it's not even listening, is understanding these signals. So we took female moths that now have the most important, precious question for themselves, right? Where to oviposit their eggs. But it's not only for them, it's also an evolutionary important dilemma. And we exposed these female moths to two choices of where to lay their egg. On one side of the arena, we put an empty box, which was silent. And on the other end, the far other end of the arena, the box, we had a speaker playing back these clicks of ultrasonic sounds produced by the plants. And interestingly, the morning after, we saw that most females tend to lay their eggs near these acoustic sounds, meaning that they understand that this is produced by plants. And then we wanted to take it further to see if they really understand when is it produced by plants. So adding to the serene, that one end is silent and the other is playing back these ultrasonic signs, we added healthy plants, meaning one side had a silent, healthy plant, and the other side was also healthy, but it had these stress clicks, only stress click. It wasn't stress. That was the only signal. And interestingly, the female moth now reversed their choice, and they prefer to lay their egg near the silent plant.
Interesting.
Meaning that they know the physiologically condition of that specific signal.
All right, Dr. Raya Seltzer, I have to let you go right now, but thank you very much. This is truly a very, very interesting discovery.
Thank you very much.
This discovery isn't just fascinating, it could revolutionize agriculture. Imagine farmers using microphones to listen for plant distress, catching drought or disease before it's visible. Early warnings could save water, prevent crop loss, and reduce costs. Pest control could also change. Broadcasting stress sounds might naturally repel insects, reducing the need for chemicals. This is organic, sustainable farming powered by plant communication. Scientists believe many plants and animals may use similar sound-based signals. We've only just begun to understand this language, but it's already reshaping our view of nature. The Green Kingdom is alive with conversation, and we're finally learning to listen.